Welcome to Ravings of a Lunatic with Kris Jobson, where we uncover truths hiding in plain sight, where we dive into our blind spot to reveal the obvious, and where illusions vanish when we dare to face our fear. Thank you for joining me here today. If this is your first time, please note that during this episode, I will introduce to you some powerful affirmations that will help you set bold, empowering, and positive new intentions. While towards the end of today's episode, I invite you to join me in a guided declaration to further ground these affirmations in your mind, your body, and your vibration. Welcome to episode 3, Speak Your Truth. Now, what exactly is speaking your truth? Well, a truth refers to something that is a fact, the reality of a situation. And there is universal truth, which is an unchanging reality that is constant throughout all of time. Universal truth comes from the highest perspective, the view from the mountaintop, so to speak, where all avenues, all possibilities, and probabilities can be seen, the ultimate truth of how things are. But yet, every level below that ultimate truth has its own perspective, its own view. And life seen from each of those levels will have a different view of how things are, a view that will be true on that level. Come with me on this example. Say you and I both live at the same address. We both love our neighborhood and enjoy the community, but you are planning on moving away because of your unfortunate experience of living there. The difference between us is you live on the ground floor and I live on the top floor. Your experience living there is the busy main street, tons of people outside your window, and too much noise. My experience is the view of the horizon, and all I hear is silence. I have silence, you have noise. My truth is that living there is peaceful. Your truth is that living there is busy and noisy. So even though we both live at the same address, our perspectives of living there are different. Yet both our perspectives are true for us, despite how different they are. From my perspective on the top floor, I can see your noisy experience, but I also have additional experience and information that you don't have. I know that if you move to a higher floor, you can live peacefully at this address. You don't have that information from where you stand, on the ground floor. You only have a part of my knowledge, and your part tells you it is noisy and busy here. The truth is, it's noisy here. And peaceful here, too. Noisy for some, yet peaceful for others, depending on where they are experiencing that truth from. The higher the perspective of that truth, the better you can see the bigger picture of how things are. And so you can see more of the options that are available. The lower the truth, however, the more restricted the view, so you see less of the bigger picture and you believe you have limited options. But if you could see the truth I see from my top floor, you would know that the problem is not our address. The problem is the level you are experiencing that address from. And if you just move from the ground floor to an apartment higher up, you will have more peace. And you can stay at that address in that neighborhood that you love. What I am saying here is a higher perspective gives you a broader view with more information, while a lower perspective gives you a limited view where you have less information from which to make wise choices. How high is the perspective you are seeing from to come to your truth? Your truth must be from your highest perspective on the issue, not your lowest. Your truth deserves your time, effort, and diligence to take yourself to the highest perspective you can reach. Then do you have something of substance, something useful to share. To speak your truth, you must first arrive at your truth. You arrive at your truth by 1. Being in touch with your feelings and thoughts on the matter. 2. By acknowledging your responsibility and accountability within that situation. And 3. By listening to your intuition and inner guidance on the matter. Let's take a closer look at these 3 elements. Number 1, which is your thoughts and your feelings. You must sift through them, understand them, and bring them into harmony. Your feelings and thoughts must be aligned. Questions. Do you allow yourself to feel your emotions? Do you know how to process your emotions in a healthy way? How much space do you give yourself to clarify and understand what you feel about an issue? And in the same vein, how well do you clarify your thoughts on that issue? Repeat this affirmation with me. Affirmation. I allow myself to examine my thoughts and feel my emotions. I then take the time to clarify these thoughts, to process these emotions, to elevate them and bring them all into balance. This is how I take care of myself. End of affirmation. Element number 2 that helps you arrive at your truth is your responsibility and accountability. Recognize that you contribute to every experience or situation you find yourself in. Investigate what part you play in that interaction and be accountable. Take responsibility for all of your input. Put in the effort and the commitment necessary to do this. This is your path to your highest truth. This is a self-investigation and a self-discovery process that helps you to get more in touch with what is going on inside of you. You start to develop a closer relationship to yourself, learning how to shift your thoughts, attitude, and mindset. This is a life-changing process. Repeat this affirmation with me. Affirmation. I am willing to see the part I play in everything that unfolds in my life. I vow to acknowledge and take responsibility for my actions, knowing that I have the power to shift my life. End of affirmation. And the third element to arrive at your truth is listening to your intuition and inner guidance. With your thoughts now more clear, with your emotions now processed, and your responsibility understood, you have turned down the noise inside yourself. This opens up a clearer channel to give you insights and aha moments that bring you to a higher truth about the situation. This is the deep inner work that we can do on ourselves to become more masterful in our lives. Repeat this affirmation with me. Affirmation. I am open to receiving insights and guidance that give me a higher perspective on life. I understand that this is my intuition guiding me to my highest good. I accept this guidance with gratitude. End of affirmation. Let this inner work bring you to a new space and place within yourself. When you are able to do this, you find inner alignment, balance, and true power. Now you have a higher truth to share. And just as this truth gives you clarity, so can it give clarity to others. When you have goodness to share, share it. But first, ask yourself this. What is your intention for sharing this truth? If the intention is to bring greater clarity and understanding to you and everyone else involved, then go ahead, speak your truth. But if instead your intention is to defend yourself, to hurt someone, or to feel better than someone, if it is that, then that is self-serving and filled with ego. And you must go back to your inner process and do some more soul searching before you speak. Speaking your truth should not be confused with just venting your thoughts and emotions about an issue. No, that is just carelessly reacting to life instead of consciously responding to life. One is self-defeating while the other is self-empowering. Don't vomit your raw thoughts and emotions on people. No, find the private space by yourself to process and heal them and find the lesson within them for you. I am not suggesting that your truth has to always be sweet and nice, or that you cannot tell the hard truths, but the intention should be for greater clarity and understanding for all involved. Speaking your truth could end a relationship. It could bring peace, or just closure, or it could revive and rejuvenate a relationship. It will do what it is supposed to do, but you must deliver it from the truest of intentions. So if you are speaking your truth from this high intention, then you know that that could heal or transform a relationship, be it work, family, love, friendship, whatever relationship it may be, but not if you hold back and do not express your truth. One of the main reasons for holding back your truth is you are afraid of conflict. You think that by expressing your truth, that may result in you losing something or someone you care about. So you hold back your truth to prevent conflict. But that solves nothing because you have already created conflict on the inside within yourself. How so? Well, because you are called to express a truth, something that you now know is of worth that needs to be said, that you are instead pushing down and suppressing within yourself. And so there is a conflict, just not with others on the outside, but there's a conflict with you on the inside. You have avoided conflict with others to end up having conflict with yourself. When you suppress your truth, at some point it gets bottled up inside of you and becomes volatile because it has not been expressed. And if you choose this pattern of holding back your truth in this relationship or in that situation, probably this is a pattern that you continually engage in. So there may be many other instances with different people and in different places where you do not speak your truth, where you don't give yourself that honor and that respect of expressing something that you know may be valid and important. This is you disrespecting yourself by not expressing your truth, by not valuing what you have to share, by not trusting yourself to share it, and not finding the confidence to share it. This is a multi-layered conflict within yourself that eventually throws you off your balance. You start behaving and maneuvering in life not in your highest interest and not as your best self. Because you have so much that you are holding down and holding back within you that it is throwing you off your center. This internal conflict may build up pressure until at some point it explodes out of you, and that can be messy. When in the beginning, if you had expressed that truth, it would have just been an opinion or an insight of yours, and it would have been way more elegant and smooth. But having suppressed your truth for so long, on so many levels, in so many ways, it becomes an explosion that may actually do more damage than the conflict you were trying to avoid in the first place. You can only hold back so much until you have to let it out, somehow, some way. So to prevent the explosion, go ahead and speak your truth from the very beginning. Share it, even with the fear of conflict, because conflicts can be resolved. But they can only be resolved once you lay it all out on the table, once you reveal it all. Don't let fear of conflict be the reason why you hold back your truth, because holding back that truth will prove to be worse in the long run. Repeat this affirmation with me. Affirmation. I choose to speak my truth from the clarity and power of my highest understanding. This is my opportunity to take any situation to a healthier and more harmonious place. End of affirmation. Something else that can stand in the way of us speaking our truth is the fear of being vulnerable. When speaking our truth, sometimes we have to show more emotions. We have to be open and vulnerable. And that can be a scary thing for many of us because we think emotions make us weak. But no, emotions make us human. It is not a weakness, but a power to be able to feel like us humans do. Emotions are pure energy. And when we know how to use them properly, they become a source of strength and power. Each emotion helps us acknowledge and respond to the moments and situations that we live. It is then our job to find the quiet time and space to honor these emotions, to feel them, understand them, and transmute them back into their pure energy. But know this, expressing yourself with emotion in an appropriate way is the path to a more healthy and loving you and a more healthy and loving world. And in this appropriate way, you recognize that those emotions that accompany your truth are there to communicate honestly, not to control, not to overwhelm or manipulate the person or people you are sharing it with. That is not truth. That is deception, not the same thing. So if speaking your truth requires that you show more emotion, to open up and be more vulnerable, then that is what your life has called you to be in that moment. Have the strength to meet it there. Have the courage to show up truthfully. It takes strength to open up and express yourself in a vulnerable way. And that vulnerability could be the open door through which you find new common ground in your relationships. It also invites the other person to do the same, to open up and be vulnerable in expressing themselves to you too. This is a powerful process. Repeat this affirmation with me. Affirmation. I have the courage to open up and be vulnerable, to carefully and honestly express my emotions. End of affirmation. Yet one more thing that can stand in the way of us speaking our truth is our pride. Pride that holds back your truth because it wants to have the upper hand, to be in control. This works against you. This kind of pride is so insecure that it uses control to feel powerful. Clarity and understanding are not its intention. That pride sabotages your relationships and your ability to guide them to higher heights. Here is where more soul searching is absolutely necessary. Don't let your pride rob you of beautiful relationships you know you deserve in your life. Holding back truthful communication can starve a good relationship to death. There is no power in holding back here. Here, there is power in sharing. So take the time and space to find the most appropriate, respectful way to speak your truth in a way that can honor you, honor the person you are expressing it to, and honor the whole relationship. You're never going to be perfect. No one is perfect. But you have to start somewhere. Begin this process of trying to understand what is my way of expressing my truth so I can maintain the right energy and get that intention of clarity and understanding across for everyone involved when I express it. Start to figure that out for yourself. And who is to say that what you have to express as your truth isn't the very solution that that situation needs? That truth that you were thinking of holding back could be the very key to take this relationship or situation to the next level, or to actually achieve the success that you're looking for. And if it is not directly the solution, it may be a catalyst to finding a solution. That truth you have to express is coming up for a reason. Yet we cannot predict the outcome of expressing our truth. We cannot predict the results it will have. And that is a good thing, because then we have to trust it. We have to trust ourselves. We have to trust our guidance, and we have to trust our lives for putting us in that position. We have to learn how to build trust and practice trusting often, more and more every day. Build that trust muscle, pump that muscle, and make it as strong as ever. Repeat this affirmation with me. Affirmation. I am choosing to trust more and more every day. To trust myself, my guidance, to trust the good intentions I have that can benefit me and others. I trust my truth and I share it from my heart. End of affirmation. I have found that in speaking your truth, many times that leads you to massive growth and expansion, to new understandings and wisdom. And that is a remarkable thing, a beautiful thing. Remember, the truth that you are called to express may be the exact truth that people need to hear. And this whole experience can transform you and them and take the entire situation to the next level. Speak your truth. Shortly, I will take you through a powerful guided declaration where you can ground all of today's affirmations deep within your mind, your body, and your vibration. But first, let me share something with you. For every challenge and situation you face, for every trauma you've lived that has affected you in some way, there are methods and techniques to not only heal and overcome these difficulties, but to learn and grow from them transforming yourself into better and better versions as you move through your life. These are specific methods and techniques that I have made available through the books and courses that I have created. I have written 4 books on mindfulness and self-worth that are available on Amazon. Each book guides you through a 60-day journey to self-development. In addition, I have a 21-day online course of video lessons, worksheets, meditations, affirmations, journaling, and much more that dives into developing self-love, building self-confidence, and positive boundaries. Both the books and the course use a method I have created that provides a deep dive into self to investigate what truly makes you tick and give you the insights, the knowledge, and discovery you need to transform yourself from the inside out. Just as there's a strategy and technique to play the piano, to be a lawyer, to be a doctor, there is a strategy and technique for you to be in your self-mastery, for you to understand and know yourself, so when issues arise, you are ready and equipped to handle them. You can find all this material at ravingsoflunatic.com. Now, please repeat this personal declaration with me. This is a mantra, a vow to yourself that allows you to step into your potential. Within this declaration, you will find the series of affirmations that we have done in this episode to allow you to absorb them deep in your mind, your body, and your vibration. I will repeat each affirmation 2 times. Be present. Be focused and alert as you repeat this declaration. Let's begin. My personal declaration. This is my quiet time with myself. My private safe space to open up and be completely honest, supportive, yet firm with myself. In this space, I will not judge myself. I will be my very own best friend. Here is where I cultivate positive new habits, where I build empowering new beliefs, and where I give myself permission to transform into the next best version of me. I know there may be moments where I may feel resistance to this journey, but I am willing to commit to this practice out of love and respect for myself. This is how I grow from joy to joy and from power to power. I am ready to be the best version of myself, and I give myself the opportunity to do so now by allowing the following affirmations to sink deep within my mind, my body, and my vibration. Affirmation number 1. I allow myself to examine my thoughts and feel my emotions. Then I take the time to clarify these thoughts, to process these emotions, to elevate them and bring them all into balance. This is how I take care of myself. End of affirmation. Now, once again, I allow myself to examine my thoughts and feel my emotions. Then I take the time to clarify these thoughts, to process these emotions, to elevate them and bring them all into balance. This is how I take care of myself. Affirmation number 2. I am willing to see the part I play in everything that unfolds in my life. I vow to acknowledge and take responsibility for my actions, knowing that I have the power to shift my life. End of affirmation. Now, once again, I am willing to see the part I play in everything that unfolds in my life. I vow to acknowledge and take responsibility for my actions, knowing that I have the power to shift my life. Affirmation number 3. I am open to receiving insights and guidance that give me a higher perspective on life. I understand that this is my intuition guiding me to my highest good. I accept this guidance with gratitude. End of affirmation. And again, I am open to receiving insights and guidance that give me a higher perspective on life. I understand that this is my intuition guiding me to my highest good. I accept this guidance with gratitude. Affirmation number 4. I choose to speak my truth from the clarity and power of my highest understanding. This is my opportunity to take any situation to a higher and more harmonious place. End of affirmation. And one more time. I choose to speak my truth from the clarity and power of my highest understanding. This is my opportunity to take any situation to a healthier and more harmonious place. Affirmation number 5. I have the courage to open up and be vulnerable, to carefully and honestly express my emotions. End of affirmation. And again, I have the courage to open up and be vulnerable, to carefully and honestly express my emotions. And affirmation number 6. I am choosing to trust more and more every day. To trust myself, my guidance, to trust the good intentions I have that can benefit me and others. I trust my truth and I share it from my heart. End of affirmation. And one more time. I am choosing to trust more and more every day. To trust myself, my guidance, to trust the good intentions I have that can benefit me and others. I trust my truth and share it from my heart. End of declaration. This podcast is created to help each of us to become an expert on ourselves and to become the person we know we can be. Here's a suggestion for how you can best utilize this podcast. You can use it as a practice, as your personal transformation practice. You can create a Ravings of a Lunatic journal of your own, where you write down the questions I ask you and allow yourself to answer them fully. This will be your journal for you to know more of who you are, to understand yourself on a deeper level, and to step into the next best version of you. You can also write down any quotes or parts of the episode that connect with you. I do this practice myself, and it has proven to serve me well. If this resonates with you, go ahead and give it a try. Thank you for joining me here today. Please join me next week, Thursday, for our next episode.